Hey guys, welcome back. Maverick here today with episode 7 of Magia Record Season 2. So, this should be the penultimate episode, right? We have 8 episodes here, and this should also be the beginning of the final battle or climax or whatever, right? I mean, I hope so. Otherwise, I don't think we can really end on a high note with only 2 episodes worth of content left. And last episode, let's not talk too much about it, right? Because the pacing and the animation were kinda on the low side, if you will, on a mediocre side. But this one, you know, lots of people have been telling me we should be having a banger of the final episode, so I am looking forward to it. Let's get right into it. Alright, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. Better not disappoint me. I certainly hope they were saving their efforts and budget for these final 2 episodes. You know, if you think about it, no matter which world or which iteration we see, Mommy almost always has like a very how can I put this? She's always the one who either, you know, falls first, dies first, or always gets herself like corrupted in some sort of way, right? Okay. And here I was thinking they would just go directly into it. Or maybe we can... Let's see if there's like a reversal of opening and endings in the next episode. Probably not, though. Since both songs are... I mean, it's definitely not something like Calafina, right? Especially if what you guys are saying... You know, I have seen some people say that this is only the first part of a second season. And they're going to adapt something else later on as well. I mean, we should be seeing Iraha go Super Saiyan at least once, right? Although, personally, I'm looking forward to seeing if she will, you know, connect with Madoka. Trio finale. Such an OP power. Oh. I guess I spoke too soon. Your aim kind of sucks, Mommy. Hmm. Hello. You want to snap them out of it, you hit them on the head, right? Okay. Tactical retreat. Oh, look at that. Whoa. But like I said, though, I do feel that it kind of cheapens the entire, I'm equal parts like impressed and also not too impressed by that scene. It's great seeing so many witches at the same place, right? On the other hand, though, it kind of like tears away the mystique of the witches. Hmm. Can't fight on an empty stomach. Although I actually don't. Personally, I don't like churros. Go to the top. Good question as well. I asked that in the last episode, right? They kind of just skipped over her entire turn coding. Just like a lighthouse, eh? Although that's an interesting question, right? That Kyoko raised. Will this actually help magical girls? Mm-hmm. I wonder how coordinators came to be in the first place. Will you explain some things, Miss Pretty Lady Coordinator son? smart. Although, you know, knowing this kind of, since it's Madoka Magica, obviously we are gonna have to go like, you can't close yourself to others. You need to open yourself to others. You know, that kind of story. Although once again, like, the hypothesis I've had, if Magias are actually able to gather up all the witches around the entire world, and so witches don't exist anymore, like, how does that exactly work, right? Visualize who she is. Hey, when you power creep your own franchise, right? You gotta explain some things to the okay. To me, that's probably the most hilarious part of this episode so far. Like, no. Move out. Dang. No matter how many times I see it, I love Mommy's abilities. Like, hers and Homura's abilities, definitely my favorites. Nice. Oof. That is cool. Ouch. Holy crap. Now she's a zombie. Okay, that was cool. How exactly are they going to wrap it up in just one episode? That makes no sense, though. Well, we can talk more after this. Well now, okay, that was a pretty interesting ending there. You know, I actually thought, I actually really thought that Tsuruno was dead on that scene, because I just felt like it would be so Madoka Magica to build up all this hope and then have it all come crashing down at the very end there, but apparently not, right? So she's not dead yet, she's just sort of like a zombie, or she's at least being held together by magical powers and so on and so forth. So, we got that, we still got that hope going on, but right now, my main question is how exactly we're going to end this in the next episode, right? Or maybe this is really just, we are going to be leaving on a cliffhanger still in the next episode, right? Maybe they will solve the Tsuruno and Mami situation, but we still have the entire Nemu and Toka and Waterproof to actually contend with, right? And the the artificial witch, right? Embro Eve, I think they called it, right? We might be having that in the second half of the second season here instead. So I think that makes a lot more sense. I really don't think there's any possible way to wrap up what they are trying to do in just one episode here. So I guess we can stay content with just using the power of hope and friendship and whatnot and getting Tsuruno and Mami back, right? I don't know, like maybe they need to connect a little bit more or something of that sort. We shall see, right? We shall see. This episode, I mean, at the very least, the animation quality came back, right? I think, what can I say? The assumption was correct in that they were trying to save the budget and save the resources from last episode and really build up a good finale. So I can respect that. Now that I do see the quality coming back as well, obviously I would rather prefer this to mediocre or just average episodes, right? So with that in mind, I think we're gonna have a pretty epic episode 8 as well. So we got that going. Now my main problem with this episode, though, I think I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I feel like Magia Record, broken record, pun unintended. But the thing here is, I've been saying this throughout the entire, both season 1 and season 2 as well, and that is, we really don't spend enough time with the girls, or see the girls themselves having, interactions with each other. So since this is adapted from a mobile game, I'm assuming that there's probably lots of side events and side stories and whatnot, character stories, character events that will tell us about, like, the interpersonal relationships between the girls and whatnot. Like, for instance, in this episode where Yachio was like, hey, I know Tsuruno, I know you more I know you better than anyone else. Like sure, we saw some of that back in season 1, right? We know that these two have known each other for a long time, and Tsuruno is actually someone that Yachio willingly calls a friend, right? Even though she's been sort of like cold and cut off from all the others, and so on and so forth. But you know, we never really see much evidence of that, is what I'm saying here. And the same goes for Felicia and Sana as well, right? Like, you know, Yachio trying to protect them, and then having that, like, heated debate there, you know, I want to protect you, I don't want you to be sacrificed, I don't want you to turn into a witch, all that thing. I really feel like it's... You know, the impact is not really there unless you build up the characters and, you know, their relationship with each other, right? Like, Yachio and Iroha, I can get it, right? These two we've always seen these two on screen. We've seen them gradually build up their relationship with each other. So, you know, seeing them have any sort of progress or you know, getting through that kind of really emotional stuff, I can totally understand. But the rest of the girls, there's just a feeling of, oh, when did we get to this point, right? So, I don't know, that's why actually back in season 1, one of my favorite episodes was actually when they all went shopping together, right, to get the cups and whatnot. Like, I thought that was great interpersonal, you know, relationship building and whatnot, and we really get to see the girls in their you know, in their natural habitat, if you will, living together, and having, you know, having fun, or you know, at least interacting with each other, talking with each other, and so on and so forth. In the end, we didn't really get to see them that much hanging out, either in the mansion or doing other stuff, right? So, yeah, I think that to me is still my biggest problem with this Magia Record series at this point, which is we just simply don't have enough of that, right? As for the you know, the plot progression and so on and so forth, I mean, at this point, it's very clear, right? Let's get back Mami and Tsuruno first, and then figure out the rest, right? Now, I still have my questions, obviously, about, you know, the overall plan, and, you know, why is it such a negative? I guess technically they aren't destroying the witches, right? Because they're feeding the witch energies into this artificial witch, this embryo Eve, if you want not. And, you know, you can totally foresee a situation where it kind of goes berserk and goes out of control, and then you basically have this conglomeration of witches all around, right? Which is going to be like this unstoppable force, maybe even a bigger threat than Waterpoogas. Which, by the way, if that is true, that's kind of also franchise breaking as well, since, you know, Waterpoogas, I'm not sure if it's been confirmed yet, but I think it has been heavily hinted who the real identity of Waterpoogas is. But anyways, you know, beyond that though, another thing, I guess, more so on the concept of this Magia Record franchise is in, you know, the more that I think about it, the more I feel like it's this, especially this current iteration, is really similar to Evangelion, right? You know, even back then in the original anime series for Madoka Magica, people were comparing it to Evangelion a lot. I still remember the discussions during that time. I wasn't really familiar with the Western world at that, the Western forums at that time, but I read a lot of like Japanese forums and whatnot, and there was these constant debate going on about how it's kind of similar, in sort of like this psychological thriller aspect of things, and really talking about the, you know, human nature as well as, you know, despair and you know, all those negative emotions and whatnot. But here, especially with the addition of some other mechanics like connecting, right, or the fact that there is this sort of embryo Eve character that can sort of, you know, consolidate all the witch energy into it, and the fact that, you know, witches are sort of like the reverse side of magical girls and whatnot, derived from magical girls. Now, all of this added together definitely brings me a lot of Evangelion vibes, right? Connecting, especially here with the story of the the coordinator Minamoto, you know, how she sort of like wants to shut off her heart, right? And then, you know, having this sorry, not Minamoto, Mitama, having this sort of connection, right? Connection with someone else, and how you can open your heart that way. You definitely feel that kind of thing, right? And definitely the connect mechanism they have here is a play on how you want to basically share your, I guess maybe this is entirely hypothetical, right? I'm just going off on my own thoughts here. Maybe the true purpose of this is, in a literal sense, sharing the burden, sharing the pain, right? And if magical girls can share the burden, share the pain together, then they can basically spread out the impact of the negative emotions and whatnot, and so they won't turn into a witch as easily, or resort to doppelfication as easily, right? I think that's basically what they're getting at. Obviously, here Connect it's being used more like a sort of battle mechanism and whatnot, and they don't really go through the other aspects of having to connect with someone else. They explain here is simply just syncing your magical energies and whatnot. But I do kind of feel like there's probably a deeper layer in there where the connection, it really depends on if you have a heart-to-heart connection with between magical girls. Or, of course, maybe I'm just talking out of my ass and making this completely up, right? But I do feel like it would make a lot of sense in that in order to connect with someone else, you need to, really open your heart to them as well. Although, saying that, I guess we see plenty of times here where the connection isn't really all that strong. Although I guess you could also make it in a way, or set the workings in a way where the closer you are with another magical girl, right? The more that you open your heart to her, the more connection you have, the stronger the actual connectability actually is, and your own powers are amplified by that much more, right? I don't know. Just pure speculation on my part. I don't know if this is maybe something further explained in the games or whatnot, or heck, maybe the anime will explain it later on. And maybe even next episode, right? Because obviously they still need to find a way to revert Tsuruno and Mami. So maybe, like I said, it's just a matter of their connect power being not being strong enough, and so we'll see in the next episode. The rest, yeah, I think that's basically it. I mean, glad to see Mami back in action. Her abilities will never get old to me, right? Having all those guns and really like flintlock guns and whatnot floating around and all firing off, and then firing off in all these different patterns and whatnot. I love it. And of course Homura with her time stop ability as well. Although since she is in a more earlier iteration of herself, she hasn't quite gotten into like the whole firearms and munitions departments of things yet, right? She's still relying on more small caliber explosives and firearms at this point. But yeah, anyways, that's it for this episode, and yeah, I will see you guys in the grand finale next week. Hopefully it's good, and hopefully you guys will be there. I'll see you guys then. Bye-bye.